I love the beat to that new opening that Edge of Philly made. Like I'm ready to dance. What's going on, everyone? What is happening? This is the Attacking Third, where Edge of Philly Sports brings you some Union talk. That's right. We are like Edge of Philly Sports is like everything else, but we are a true 6 for 6 down in here on Edge of Philly Sports. Not only talk your Flyers, not only talk your Eagles, your Phillies, your Sixers, not your Philadelphia Wings, and Steel Steps will be tomorrow, 10 o'clock on Friday nights. But tonight it's Thursday, and you know what that means? It's time to talk Union soccer for 1 hour, and that's right. And alongside me is the most amazing man in the world, and I actually did it right this time. It's the A train down. Austin, Austin, how you feeling today?
Dude, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually I'm a little hyped today. I'm a little
You
hyped,
should,
a little
you
bit,
sh-
a little bit.
a little bit, you should be. And first, all right off the bat, Daniel Barry already checking in the show
What
saying,
up, man? What
"Yo,"
up?
as my man Yo's. But God rest his soul. Listen, everyone knows the last 2 weeks for the attacking third has been rough as we lost a long, dear, good friend of ours, Gus Seminario, and I'm still going through days where I still think about that man every day.
Oh yeah,
But
same here.
the Union, if my man made get to the French gates of heaven, the Union already made a move that had this man already screaming from above. And what I mean is the Philadelphia Union signed Ollie. That's right. Bedoya is back. Bedoya is back. Just when we thought, the union front office had enough of him. The reports we heard that he was storming out the door unhappy. But Bedoya is not leaving. He is on a 1 year deal. So I know there's a lot of Bedoya fans still left. The question is, and Austin, I'm going to go right to you. The question is, are you happy? Is this a waste of the union's time? Is this progression in the right direction? Why is this man still going to be around for another year?
It is a good signing, and I'm going to explain why. Um, in addition to bringing him back to the club for the 2024 season, he is going to be taking on a new role as a part of player development and also as a front office specialist. So he's going to be spending a lot of time, probably on off days, probably days he's not included in the 11, to help out, guys in like Union 2 and the youth academies and things like that, to be able to, help hone their craft for when their time comes to get their number called. They're going to have a very solid player who has had a very very long soccer career, teaching them the fundamentals of the sport. And
Mm,
honestly, going directly to Ernst Tanner's quote when the signing was made, he said, "quote We are happy to have found a solution that works best for Alejandro and for the union to bring him back to the club where he can continue to contribute to the team and in the player professional development role. His leadership and work ethic are still vital components to our team's success, and his passion, commitment, and insights after serving in unofficial business and leadership capacities over the years will contribute greatly to his new role." Like, it's perfect. It's exactly what I was saying we should have Bedoya do if we bring him back, is to get him in some sort of a secondary role that's more of a front office focused position, because he's not going to be a 90-minute guy now. He realizes that. And
right.
he himself said that this is the only Major League Soccer team he ever played for, and it's the only one that he wants to play for. He's a tri-state guy, so it makes sense for him to want to play for Philadelphia. Like, he wants to play close to home. He wants to be able to see his kids grow up in this area, and he wants to be able to help mold the future of soccer here in the country, because he sees where the talent level's coming. A lot of it's coming from out of Philadelphia's youth academy. I mean, there's been the rumors going around that Kevin Sullivan might be getting picked up by, I believe it was Real Madrid, which Gus went
Mm,
crazy about, because that's his team over in Spain.
yes. Yes.
So I mean, there's a lot. It's the player professional development role was a thing that MLS included this year as part of something that teams could designate a player to as part who are on their roster every single year. So it's perfect for him. Like, he'll be responsible for supporting various union front office initiatives in respect to marketing, digital, social media, he'll help to optimize the club's innovative player development model by serving as an important mentor to the youth, and helping through their development and strengthening the club's overall approach to player rotation. So it's exactly what you want for a guy like an Alejandro Bedoya. It's the perfect position to put him in, as because we all know that he's getting close to the end of his playing career. I mean, could he still put in meaningful minutes? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Is he a full 90 guy? No. Could he be looking at this being the final year of his career and wanting to move into a front office position? Absolutely. What better place to do it than here? Knowing the youth that we have coming up, knowing the players that we have on the senior roster currently, knowing a lot of the guys from Union too, because they get called up to the senior club sometimes, this is perfect for LA. It's exactly what I wanted to see. I am so happy for this.
We know you are. Listen, Bedoya recorded 7 assists last year. Like you said, he's probably not going to get a lot.
Tied for second on the team.
Tied for second on the team. Listen, he's probably not going to get much playing time this year. He's got more of a off the field coaching aspect to be a leader, and this is what they want out of him. They want him to be that leader for the guys, leader for the team, show how to get things done as a professional, how to be off the field, all that stuff, how to handle the media, how to handle the hard questions are going to be coming at times. So yeah, like you said, it's a good work on both parties. Linda Durante checking in. She goes, "Hello, boys. Hello, hey. Linda." But yeah, I mean, listen, big news of the day. If you guys are Union fans, you guys are checking in. Bedoya is not going anywhere. He's going to be here for at least one more year. Maybe, like you said, rise of the sunset. Maybe he gets that, a front office job. Maybe it could be, maybe a Philadelphia analyst for Union Soccer. I could see him in that role, like an NBC Sports Philly kind of role. I could see him in that, and really breaking down the games, being just the expert that he is. I mean, but and listen, the one game he was in, it was the one playoff game, and the one speech he made, it made me want to run through a wall. Yeah, and he's that kind of a motivator. He's the kind of guy that gets you going. He's kind of, again, the way he plays on the field. He did have like a nice little, set games. He tried quarterbacks on the field as the game goes on. Are you expected to see him in the full 90? No. Are you expected to see him to come in the tail end of the games? Probably. But most important, the role is to make sure these guys are ready to go up to snuff, and just being a pro, and handle, like you said, handling the media, handling a lot of things are going to be coming at you. But I mean, like I said, a lot of people might be happy with it. A lot of people might not be happy with it. A lot of people might say this is a waste of a time. Why you're wasting your money on an old veteran player? Just let the guy go. Who knows? But I mean, on paper, it seems like it's all the right moves. But again, I want to think on the other side of the ball, and I want to hear from the people who are on that side of the ball. Do you think this is a waste of time? Do you think that the Union are just wasting their money on this guy? Oh man, when in doubt, Jose's right there to break my chops. I'll let you go for you, Pat. Yes, let you go. Yes, please. You can train me anytime.
Wrong button.
Hello.
My fault.
So yeah, like I said, again, he's going to be here, and he's a heck of a guy. He's a heck of a, like I said, he made that one speech. That was against, it was New England's first game. And he made, like I said, that speech, man. It made me want to run through a wall. Again, a great player, great off the field. So, but like I said, I want to hear from the people who are looking at this like this is just a waste of time. Why? When they could be bringing someone else in? Why?
I can understand why. I mean,
right.
Late 30s in a game that's only getting younger every single season.
What's he? 36, right?
Yeah.
36 years old.
He's only 2 years older than I am, dude, and everyone's like, he's old. Like, thanks, because I didn't need to be knocked down a few pegs.
Hey, listen, you're preaching to the guy. I'm 2 years of knocking on 40. Okay, this is happening over here. 40's around the corner for me. Okay, so.
Yeah, Jose saying he's 37 in April. Yeah, dude, like.
Yeah,
people
Jose's
like,
an ugly looking 37.
People look at someone my age and they're like, he's knocking on, like, if I were an athlete, they'd be like, he's knocking on the door of his career being over.
Yes, yes. People think I rub my face against cement and just age this way, but no.
Like, cool,
Yes,
dude, like, because my playing career didn't stop when I was like 19 because my knees got bad.
yeah. Talking about growing old over here. But yeah, like I said though, Bedoya's going to be around the team for another year. Listen, Union season starts in 3 weeks. Chicago's coming. Chicago Fire's coming. How's he going to? How him, Jim Curran? How are they going to be prepared for what's coming next? It's going to be a lot, exciting soccer. Let me ask you. We're going to get into a lot of these all-season moves that the Union has made. Where are you right now, Austin, with this team? With some of the off-season moves that I've made, where are you? Reality, put down the blue and gold sunglasses, and where are you in your heart?
I don't like the position that we're in compared to what everyone else has done. I feel like
That's fair.
I feel like a lot of what we've done is basically just essentially backpedal after trying to bury both Wagner and Bedoya in terms of what our front office did to them. So I feel like we kind of had to backpedal on that, and there's a bit of face that they're trying to save now. It's signings that they made with doing what they did for Bedoya. I mean, don't get me wrong, love both signings. Wagner and Bedoya are both great at what they do. Bedoya is going to do great in what he's going to be doing coming up this upcoming season, but there's just something about the way the Union did those moves after, doing what they did to them that sort of feels like I said, that like they're trying to save face. And it's just not, like I said, compared to everyone else, Portland working something out with Inter Miami to get Kamal Miller, LAFC working getting David Martinez from Venezuela. Just looking at a couple of the other moves here, Kansas City signing midfielder Memo Rodriguez from through free agency from Austin FC. Like, these are solid players that we could have easily filled those roster spots with. Would any of them been as good? Maybe, probably not in terms of trying to replace Wagner, but I feel like a lot of the options that we wanted to maybe go after were, with the way the Union are, just weren't in our financial boundary, and we just weren't able to do it. So we had to sort of backpedal a little bit. It sucks, but it is what it is. Am I confident in this team finishing at least where they finished last season? Not as much as I was going into the offseason, but it happens. My expectations were a bit higher because of the fact that I was, hoping they were going to, make some solid moves, and a bunch of pieces started moving around. And I was like, well, I'm just waiting to hear about Wagner and Bedoya coming back now. I spent like 2 weeks just waiting for it to happen. I was like, well, if we were going to get anybody, they're gone now. So waiting for the announcement to hit.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, look, they got a little bit of time left, but this to me just says they are relying on Uwa to be an X factor, more of an X factor than he was last year. And
they'll more than likely they're going to end up needing him because expectation is that Carranza's probably going to leave on a midseason loan in the summer, and then there were teams that were expressing interest in Daniel Gazdag. So I mean, you tell me as I sit here and pour this coffee.
I can't tell if that's coffee or that's a water of pain that's about to go into there.
I mean, a little bit of both, honestly.
Yes, because when you're looking at big picture, if you lose Carranza and you lose Gazdag, and listen, did Carranza have? He did lead the team in goals. He had 14 goals, but every time there was a penalty kick, that was Gazag's money shot. And again, he was a facilitator a lot last year, but you need playmakers. And I don't know if I'm a believer, even with all the all-season moves I see. I'm trying to look up and down where I feel good about myself. Like you said, other teams were making moves when you could have, easily. I get it. There was a lot of off the field issues. You had to take care of that, but there was still time for you to make some ground here. And like you said, a lot of other teams were making splashes, and it feels like we got in there and made a little bit of a drip, and that's it so far. I mean, granted, like I said, we're going to talk about Oliver, we're going to talk about Marcus Anderson, we're going to talk about a lot of those other guys, but still, where I'm at right now, looking at from 3 weeks away. Could they possibly take the home opener? Of course, they got the home opener. They're going to have the fans by the sides. The place is going to be electric. But what happens 3-4 weeks down the road? What happens? Are we going to be that? Are we going to be a contender? Are we going to be fighting for our lives like we kind of did on the opening of last year? There's just so many more questions that we have heading into this. But again, if you guys are checking in, we're talking about how you feel about the upcoming season coming up. We're talking about Bedoya right now. And guys, if you just didn't hear the news, Bedoya is going to be in Philadelphia for another year. How do you like? Are you liking it? Are you not liking it? And like you said, there sounds like there's a lot more positives than there are negatives. There's a lot more people who are going to be interested in this team and what he can bring to the table. Maybe this maybe suit best for him. Maybe as a leader. Maybe as a on the field coach. Maybe this might suit his role better.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? He, he brings so much, and again, he does. He tries to play with his heart. He plays, uh, he puts it all on the line. He's one of those guys who wants to, again, he does a terrific job trying to, pass the rock around, trying to play quarterback on the field, trying to find, and he did it. There was a majority of time where he was found wide open, where he was picking his shots last year.
Yeah,
Again, 7 assists.
yeah, and not only that, but what he's done, the contributions he's made off the field. Being the words 2022 MLS Works Humanitarian of the Year, and then in 2023 winning the Progress Impact Award for his service to his community. I mean, it just not only is he great, even not actually like playing on the pitch, but being on the pitch. Also, off of it, he's been an incredible person for the community. Like you know, he was part of the bid committee that helped Philadelphia get in on the 2026 World Cup. So
And what
he has a lot of passion for this sport. He really wants to see this next generation of players help push the growth of the game here stateside. So I feel like it's incredible to have him here again for another year. And not only, like I said, not only for what he can contribute on the field, but off of it more than anything at this point.
Yeah, and the one of the thing that stands out to me about Bedoya is that when you and I have had plenty of opportunities to interview with him, and the guy's passionate. He's got Union soccer written up and down his sleeves. And during the stretch last year, towards the tail end of the season last season, when the Union were stacked up playing twice a week, every Wednesday and Saturday, like they were getting loaded. They were doing traveling, playing game after game, traveling game after game. Like they were physically beat, and for him to try and keep that team level-headed as the leader on that team, and I remember interviewing with him, and I said, "How do you keep your composure?" And look, listen, were they not getting wins, but they weren't getting lost, and he was getting frustrated. He wanted to get the result that we all wanted, but some things it didn't just pan out that way. So again, but what we were feeling, he was feeling, and they were all feeling that locker room. So he said, "Look, man, it's just look, it's tough times, but he just kept everything level-headed." So I give him tons of respect. Just get to know him as a person and get to know him as a leader. And like I said, when I see him, he's the first one in that in that locker room. He's just got the city. He's got Philadelphia Union just written on the sleeves. Incredible guy.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it's absolutely incredible what we're able to, the position that we're able to put him in going forward. I feel like was huge more than anything. Being able to get that for him, continuing forward with this club is big. Again, just I'm pretty much repeating everything I had said before. It's exactly what I wanted to see, but the capacity of Bedoya to come back in is still as a player because he knows he still has some gas left in the tank, but to be able to also get the ability to help with the youth development, and not only
Right.
that, but like helping to work with like the social media teams and all that kind of stuff. It'll help out a lot.
Can he? Well, you mentioned about there's still gas left in the tank. How how much playing time do you think he's going to get? Maybe 20 minutes at tops.
I would hope that's all it is, but knowing Jim Curtin, he'll probably give him a handful of games to full 90.
Right, right. I'm just trying to see where as on the X's and O's, where's the plus in all this? What?
More than anything, the plus is going to be off the field with the youth development. That's going to be the main plus. That's like I said, it's exactly what you wanted him to come back for predominantly, aside from the fact that he can still play a little bit. It's more going to be for that secondary position that they gave him outside of the actual team itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like I said, like I said, I'm hoping it all works out, X's and O's, that he could, like, again, get back to being a facilitator. Just like I said, quarterback and on the field. I've said that a few times. That's all I need him to do. Just be an all out, again, just like I said, leader, leader, leader. But look, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to talk about a little backup goaltending that's coming Andre Blake's way. So we're going to get into that. Stay tuned. We're going to have some commercial break.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right.
Thank you, Dives. Thank you, buddy. Austin, we have a backup goaltender, and I'm actually one of the off-season moves that I like is this one. Yesterday morning, got signed. Alvaro Selny, right? A goaltender, 13 clean sheets, 72 saves. 25-year-old kid. First he was originally drafted by the Colorado Rapids, but the Union wound up picking him up and making a trade back. Louisville City FC, but yeah.
Yep. He was one of the goalkeepers for USL Championship side Louisville City FC. We traded a 2025 second round draft pick to the Colorado Rapids, who drafted him 41st overall in the 2023 draft. Immediately upon receiving Semley from Colorado, we signed him to a 2-year contract through 2025 with a club option for 2026. Like you said, he had 34 appearances in net, 72 total saves, a league high 13 clean sheets. He also set a new league record for the most clean sheets earned as a rookie. So definitely big for him on that. He came from a German academy where he was there from 2012 to 2018, playing for that club's second team in the 5th tier of German football. In 2018, he made a single senior appearance in the Baden Cup. He began his collegiate career at Barton Community College before transferring to Monroe. In 2020, he moved to Marshall for his junior season, where they won a championship. He led the NCAA with 11 shutouts and maintaining a .38 goals against average. And then his senior year, he led Marshall to the 3rd round of the tournament before being selected 41st overall in that draft.
All right.
6'3", 200 pounds, perfect size for a goalkeeper. A guy with a pretty solid wealth of experience already for being. What did we say was 25? Jeez, 1998 is 25 now. Oh my gosh.
Yes, let that soak in.
No, because it's going to soak into my bones and make them hurt even more.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
Very, very solid. Trading a second round. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean that actually makes sounds about right. 41st overall would have been in the second round anyway. So trading a second-round pick for a second-round pick, basically, but getting a guaranteed goalkeeper in the return is it's a solid move for Philadelphia because of the fact that the two goalkeepers behind Andre Blake are both recently drafted young players with not a ton of experience. So I feel like Semley gives them a little bit of a flex option back there in the net if necessary.
Yeah, and like you said, got to be happy with the move. Again, you're kind of not going to miss a beat with Andre Blake. If something happens with Andre Blake, you got a stud back there. Who's got some hands, who's got some mins. Again, 13 clean sheets. When I saw that, it kind of opened my eyes. You know what I mean? So the kid could play. And again, it's 72 saves. This kid's seen a lot of balls come his way, and he stopped at just about every one of them. So I mean, I'm curious to see what he brings to the table, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be that's like I said. If there's a bright spot in the moves that the Philadelphia Union has made, this is one of them.
Definitely,
this is one of them. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you're not going to skip a beat if you lose a Andre Blake this year. If he goes down some crazy way, at least you got something to kind of fill the void.
Yeah, and again, to quote Ernst Tanner on this deal. He said Oliver had a standout campaign last year, solidifying himself as the best keeper in USL. At 25 years old, he brings crucial experience while being young enough to have time to develop and grow into our system. With the increase in international play this year that will require players to be away with their national teams, we believe Oliver will be able to step in and fill an important role during that time. And I 100% agree with all of it. Not only the fact that we literally got the best keeper in the USL from last season. We, like you said, he has a good amount of experience while also still being young enough to develop and to learn behind Andre Blake.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's tough to do. Not gonna lie. I mean, a guy that's going to be consistently considered for your starting goalkeeper, if not essentially one of your star players. It's a lot of very large shoes to fill, but I feel like Semley has, like Tanner said, the experience to be able to fill that gap and still be young enough to be able to help to mold and to be coming off of, what was it again? 34 appearances, 13 clean sheets. Like that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yes,
it's impressive.
It's
totally worth the trade. It was a very solid return for Philadelphia. I mean, Colorado gets the second round pick, but sometimes you only make one or two picks in a draft the entire time and then just say we're not picking the rest of the way through.
You're right. You kind of fizzle out.
I believe MLS is the only league that does that.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, it's your team's turn to pick, and you're like, nah, we're good.
Yeah. So like I said, that's
imagine doing a fantasy football draft with your buddies, and they're like, all right, Austin, 4th round, you're up. I'm just like, no.
No, I don't need it. Keep rolling.
I'll hit the waiver wire later after.
Yes. Big fan of the waiver wire. And like I said, the kid's got he's stellar. Again, we're going to see what he brings to this Philadelphia Union team. And like I said, anything freak luckish happens to Andre Blake, at least like I said, you have something that you're not going to have a shoe that falls, that drops. You're going to find be consistent with goalkeeping, and that's been it's been the Philadelphia Union's mantra, just built from the goalkeeper on out. So I would have been a little bit more happy to see more goal, some strikers on this team. But however, this is, like I said, this is the one signing that I'll go, okay, I like it. You know what I mean?
I have it as a solid B.
Oh, for this move. Yeah, I can lean towards that move. B plus.
It gives you a stop back between Blake and Holden Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Where, Trent's still very raw in his development, where Semley has a bit of a step up from him, so he falls in that space in between. I feel like that's a perfect person to have.
Mm-hmm.
But you did make mention of, not signing an attacker. Philadelphia Union did announce on the 29th of January that they signed attacker Marcus Anderson from CF Rayo Majadahonda. I'm sorry if I butchered that extremely.
Don't even look this way. Don't look this way.
Signed him to a 3-year contract that runs through 2026 with an option through to 2028. He does hold U.S. citizenship. We got him from the Primera Federación, Spain's third-tier league, where he played for, I'm just going to call them CF Rayo, so I don't butcher it again and make people hate me.
Yes. Yes.
He made across 18 appearances in 2023. He had 14 starts, scored 3 goals. He originally started his youth career at Manhattan Kickers FC here in the States. Prior to joining CF Rayo, he played for their U19 team before joining. Okay, here we go. Club Deportivo Básico Paracuelos Antamira in the Tercera Federación, their 5th division, where he scored 10 goals, registered 4 assists in 20 starts over 29 appearances. The size for him is perfect. I mean, could he be a little bit taller? Maybe, but 5'10" is not bad for an attacker. 170 pounds. Very decent signing for Philadelphia here. It is an attacker. Young guy. I mean, he's only 21. Well, he'll be 21 this year. So, I mean, I think this is it's not the move that'll knock your socks off, but it's definitely a solid move for Philadelphia. And we actually touched on it a bit last week with JD, but the other move that Philadelphia made was acquiring defender Jose Javier Verdesio from getting him on loan from Club Deportivo Oriente Petrolero. He will be added. He was added to the active roster. He got his international transfer certificate. He's been with the team for a little bit now. He's on loan through 2024 with a permanent transfer option. 5'8", 150-pound defender who spent the last 3 years with Deportivo Oriente Petrolero. So Verdesio is a good young defender who could potentially be molded along with to the play style of guys like he's probably more of a wing defender, I would assume. But either way, he has a lot of potential. I do want to see how he'll integrate into the system of how we play. But him and Anderson are both very solid signings, very very solid young players to go along with Oliver Semley as well. Philadelphia definitely looking more to the, I mean, like JD said, like reaching into the bargain bin and finding a bit of a hopefully a gem of a film. So,
yes, yeah, and that Austin, and so to go back to Marcus Anderson. First of all, how do you feel? We're bringing someone from Brooklyn in. We're bringing a Brooklyn kid. It is what it is.
Look, dude, we sent what's his name up to we sent a couple of dudes up to NYCFC last year. So to bring a guy who's originally from New York down here, I'm fine with it. We sent technically 3 guys out to New York last year, counting Corey Burke.
Right.
It was
so when
Burke, Freese, and Perea.
Yeah, I forgot about Perea. But when I look at Mark Anderson's, and I look at the resume again, 3-year deal, and then I see 18 appearances, 14 starts, and only 3 goals. Yeah, this is the one I give an F on. This is again. He says
you also have to bear in mind going the higher up in tier you go in Spanish football, over in Spain. A lot of clubs make it they're more of a defensive minded. Aside from Barcelona and Madrid, it's gonna be a lot of heavily defensive style play, like Benfica. What's the other one? Oh my gosh, Benfica, Atletico. You're gonna find a lot of clubs are more defensively minded, where teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, and even oh my gosh, I literally had team names on the tip of my tongue, and I lost them all as I started to talk. But there's a small crop of teams in La Liga, in the Premier Division in Spain, that are offensively oriented. But then you look at a lot of the other teams in the league, even though the goal differential doesn't state so, there are a lot of defensively minded teams, and these guys. That's why we're being able to find guys like a Verdesio. You get this solid defensive team they can't really score too much. So hopefully they can eke out like a 1-0, 2-1 type win. That's why, in 14 starts, he only had 3 goals. So
Yeah, but that's the thing. Again, he says he's a physical striker, but that's what this team needs. It needs strikers. It needs some guys who could find the back of the net. And look, like you said, where he played, I've seen it. I've seen physicality kind of defensive team um, but you're not going to get that style play here for the most part. But I need.
I feel like it'll be able to help him with a lot of positioning, getting through the box on set pieces. More than that, he'll probably have to spend a bit of time working out in open space, which for a guy his build, working in open space will be easy.
Right.
So it's one of the things you just have to give the development time. He's still very young, still very raw. So I mean, we probably wouldn't even see him potentially feature in an 11 for a while. I mean, he'll probably end up being selected a couple times throughout the year. Yeah, like being a bench selection. But when you think, if in a vacuum, a mid-season transfer happens for Carranza, then probably either Sullivan or Donovan takes that spot with the other one playing behind them, and then it would be like a Marcus Anderson, or even you bring up a Jeremy Raffanello to fill a space there too. So like, there's plenty of
CJ Alney.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of people that fall into line in terms of who is going to take that space, possibly before you get to Marcus Anderson. So there's going to be plenty of time for him to develop. He's still young. Him, Bernasio, Semley, they're all very young players. There's still plenty of time for them to develop. So is it going to make an impact right now? Probably not. It'll be extra pieces to be able to fill gaps that we're going to miss when international duty comes around for a lot of these guys. Because if you think about it, no Blake, no McGlynn, possibly no Harriel, because they both have been getting calls from the USMNT.
Yes.
No Damian Lowe, because he's going to be representing Jamaica. And then Martinez, Bueno, and then even stuff over in Europe. So guys like Ua, Gazdag, there are going to be times where we're not going to have these guys, and we need to fill those voids. And that's what these signings are for, is to be able to fill voids during international break where we're going to be playing games. And that was part of our issue last year, was we didn't have guys to fill those gaps when those times came. These guys could potentially do that. They can help keep the depth available as as player rotation begins, which, again, Bedoya helping out with understanding player rotation. It's going to be big. This is the kind of stuff that we need, because that was part of our issue last year, was we didn't have a very deep rotation going.
And explains why he's here.
Yeah, not only throughout the international breaks, but also going deeper into the season. We didn't have a huge rotation for those 5 subs, so we would only use 2 or 3. There were plenty of times where I'm like, you still have subs left. It's the 80th minute. You're chasing. You're down a goal. Make another substitution, and it just wouldn't come. So, rotation and depth are going to be big, especially as we get into the Copa America and other tournaments that we have this year. So having depth is going to be big, and these guys are going to be big stopgaps for us when those international breaks arrive.
Yeah, and you're right. And like I said, maybe this kid's got something we haven't seen before. Maybe, but like I said, he's got development time. He's going to be around. Like I said, good leadership from Bedoya. And this is now we're starting to figure out why Bedoya's here and what he's here for. And again, you're bringing a lot of these young cats in here, and like you said, potentially somebody can get loaned or signed to do other duties, and you're going to need guys. So I'm imagining Jim Curtin's going to have a system where these guys are going to have to get their feet wet at some point during the regular season play. Bring in, like you said, the talent off the bench. You get them, let them get their feet wet a little bit and see. Listen, sink or swim. See, let me know what you got. Let me know what you got. And if it's at the right time for these guys to come in there and make the best of their opportunities of scoring and all that other stuff, by all means. Like I said, we know what this team is heading right off the bat. Going to have that tough schedule. You're going, you got a couple of games here, and then it's pretty much was it all March in up to March and April, you're on the road. You're heading to the West Coast. Again, you have a heavily schedule lying right in front of this team. And like I said, I can't wait for this thing to get started. I mean, as we get there, as we're inching closer to a Union season, we're going to find out what this team's all about. Again, you get Chicago right from the door coming in here, and then you got Kansas City, Seattle, and then you start making your way. So from St. Patty's Day on. St. Patty's Day all the way up until little past Easter for a straight month. You have nothing but road games.
Yeah,
nothing but road games. So this is going to be interesting. How this team's going to just collaborate as a team? How they going to manufacture and getting that bondage on the road. It's going to be to me. It's going to mean a lot. And this, right off the bat, you're going. I mean, like I said, from St. Patty's Day weekend all the way up to 4th of July, second week of April, you're going to be in Austin. You're going to be in Portland. You come back home for a little bit, and then you go back. Kick off April, you're going to be in Nashville. You're going to be in Atlanta. I mean, so you're going to be, rock and roll all over the place.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of
hefty competition.
Oh yeah, and to think of the MLS regular season kicks off on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Our full play schedule actually kicks off on the 20th with CONCACAF Champions Cup, our first leg against Saprissa.
That's right.
So we actually we did submit our roster for that. Let me actually get that list up because I just remembered about that. So let me go grab that list really fast.
So yeah, that's an interesting point. You said that's the 20th. And then the 24th you start. So that's that Wednesday. So again, you're going to need fresh feet, and this is where you want to get these guys involved.
Yeah. We announced our group. We got our group announced for the 2024 Leagues Cup is what it was. We are part of East Group 4, which is us. Fellow MLS club Charlotte FC and Liga MX club Cruz Azul. This will start July 26th, run until August 25th. Decides 3 qualifiers for the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup and an opportunity to earn a spot in the FIFA Club World Cup. So just to give you, I wish they would allow me to make this bigger without having to do
Don't worry.
Goofy stuff. Here we go. Columbus, Crew, and Club America both have a bye into the round of 32. The other East groups, East 1 is Cincinnati, NYCFC, and Querétaro. East 2 is Orlando City, Atlético de San Luis, and CF Montreal. East 3 is Club Tigres, Club Puebla, and Inter Miami. East 4, we already mentioned Philadelphia Union, Charlotte FC, Cruz Azul. East 5, New England Revolution, Nashville SC, and Mazatlan FC from Mexico. East 6 is Pachuca, New York Red Bull, Toronto FC, and East 7 is Atlanta, DC United, and Club Santos Laguna. So that is the full breakdown of the East.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to come right back. We're going to do a couple commercials, and then we are going to talk about preseason Union action that happened over the weekend. So, guys, stay tuned. We're going to get right back.
All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now, because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com. All right, guys, it's time to talk about Sherry's Tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, and play more with Sherry'sTickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. Do not pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. That's 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, do not overpay and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. Save 10% using the promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. You'll thank us later. Sherry'sTickets.com.
Thank you, Dives. Thank you, buddy. So yeah, listen, we're getting right into it. Again, your Philadelphia Union had some preseason action with NYFC, and they looked pretty good. Kai Wagner sets up Nathan Harriel for a goal. Carranza gets a goal, and Frankie Westfield gets a goal. Your thoughts there, Austin?
Honestly, to be able to battle back from being down 1-0 at the end of the first half is solid for this team, especially in the preseason. Helps you really, establish a bit of character going into the season. Especially like you said, when you look at the first goal, it's off of a set piece from Kai Wagner, which not many do it better than he does in the league, aside from maybe that Argentinian guy down there in Miami.
Yes.
But Wagner finds Harriel, and then Harriel finds Carranza, and then with the 2-1 lead, we go to a very young lineup. Honestly, brought in CJ Alney, which you mentioned earlier, Andrew Rick Jr., Neil Pierre, to go alongside Chris Donovan, Matt Real, Sanders and Gabo, and Nick Periano, and then Westfield got the goal on a very well placed pass from Sanders and Gabo to put the Union up 3-1 and put that game away. I mean, I feel like that's exactly what you wanted from Philadelphia for this game. Like I said, even going down 1-0 early on, was you had an 11 up on the front. I believe they said it was Carranza and Joaquin Torres were the front for that match. So no Mikel Ua in this match at all, which was kind of strange, honestly.
Yes.
And then you had Gazdag making his preseason debut, and you had McGlynn and Sullivan along with Bueno filling out that center diamond. So I feel like that's a very solid set. We're going to be getting Jose Martinez back soon, but as of right now, that setup seemed decent. Great to see Gazdag got his visa issues all handled and is back and ready to rock for the 2024 season with plenty of time to be able to get some work in too.
And you're right. So again, Wagner now being that, again, you were talking about look for a facilitator. Well, you don't have to look any further because this guy, especially on that two-piece set, he knows. Again, you want to talk about directing traffic. He knows what he's doing out there. I've seen the action live. Knows how to find the open man, all that stuff. Again, this is why you need him on the team. The stuff he can do. Again, this is why we brought him back, because of the things he can do, and he can create problems for the defenses out there trying to guard him. He can find the open man. He's very slick with the ball. So this is hopefully he keep a level headed this year and just like you said, just do his job. Just be solid. Just be solid. Finally, just play your game. Just play your game. Just be that facilitator. Just be the guy you need to be. It's going to be, like you said, just be red hot.
Exactly.
So, like I said, you get Wagner. If he can keep his head on straight, he's good. Carranza, like I said, this Union season, like I said, this big win, they battled back, like also said, being down 1, but they came back to win 3-1. And now, so if you're a Union fan out there, please tell me how you feel about the upcoming season. They're putting wins together. They're taking care of business in the preseason. They're going to see the Chicago team coming up here in about 3 weeks here, right here in Philadelphia. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling lucky, Punk? That's the question. That is the question. How are you feeling? You see the union. We discussed it. Me and Austin discussed about all the preseason moves that they just made. I'm sorry, all the transfer window moves they just made. Do you still? Austin's not feeling good, and Austin is that. He's that fan. He's all supportive, but when he takes down the blue and gold sunglasses, wait a minute. Maybe this ain't going to be the part I was looking for. And your only saving grace is Jim Curtin. What is this team going to look like? Will this team be a buyer? Will this team be a seller? Will this team be a contender or a pretender? What is the Philadelphia Union to you right now? I mean, guys are ready to run for. I mean, but have they really made a move? Did they? I mean, they made a nice, like I said, we talked about a nice goalie move. So if I'm so far, I'll give it a D. I'll give it a D for the moves they made so far. Kyle K, what's up, my man? He is not really didn't do nearly enough to get any grade A grade attacker, which they really needed. I agree, Kyle. Kyle, I totally agree with you. They did not get an attacker. They need an attacker bad. You're right. You're right. They need an attacker.
Yeah.
Did they get?
I 100% agree with what Kyle said. They didn't do enough to honestly get past like a C in terms of their offseason grade. I mean, getting Wagner and Bedoya back is, in my personal opinion, good, but it doesn't put this team above where it was last year. It puts them just right back where they were, and that's not great with how this league is slowly moving.
No, and is this a 500 club? Here goes Kyle K. Goes JD said it well last week. They went with a lot of low risk bargaining bin picks. Nothing bad about them, but low risk maybe mid reward. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, JD did say it best. They went into Walmart. You go back to Walmart, you go to the movie bin, the $5 movie bin, and you're searching for something to watch on a Friday night, and you're digging, and it's a bunch of no offense to Hallmark movies, but I'm not watching Hallmark movies. You're watching you're flicking, and you're getting all the B-rated brand movies, actors would never make movies, but anyway, you're kind of
probably something with The Miz in it.
Yeah, yes, a Miz-worthy movie.
Which it's like one of like 5 Marine films, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean Marine number 7 with something
Dolph Ziggler, like
yes so it's painful. It's a painful product of Union soccer. This is the first time I'm hearing the Union fans all ramped up and ready to go. And when you look at hindsight, look at outside looking in, it's just like, what did other than pick up a goaltender, what did they really do?
Yeah.
What did they really do here? He goes. Kyle K says you do that when you have a complete structure to fill small holes and you get decent backups. You didn't do that for starters. You don't do that for starters. They need to at least get one key piece, and they didn't get that. Yeah,
Yep.
They didn't get that. They didn't get one key piece. I agree, Kyle. Double K. I agree. They didn't get one key piece. They got a goaltender and a defender, but a striker. No, they need a striker. And so you're telling me Uwa's going to be the guy when I've been sitting in plenty of press boxes where they've questioned Jim Curtin about Uwa, about one of the most expensive pieces on this team. and he hasn't performed up to the paycheck, yeah, there's an issue.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be a serious issue with this team moving forward. And I hope, and like I said, I'm just being critical of team chemistry, and I'm hoping it's all going to pay off. And I'm just hoping for the hold a hand process. But I don't know if this team's going to be good enough. I don't know. Again, you came up solid grabbing a goaltender, but yeah, we do that all the time. Buy me a striker. Like you said, Kranza brings a lot of productivity.
Just find me anyone that costs a decent enough amount of money to be a needle mover. That's the main thing that we want, is a guy that'll move the needle for the fan base and for the league. And you didn't do that.
No, and like you said, Austin, all the other teams around you made some moves, made some splashes.
Yeah, and like I said, when all the splash players were gone, I literally looked around, saw the Union did next to nothing, and I was like, well, just gonna wait for Wagner and Bedoya to be back, and then we're just gonna run it back with the same dudes.
And you can't do that. You have to start thinking bigger. You have to start.
Barrera and Stilts for $100K.
Oh God! Hey, you leave the Don alone. You don't ever disrespect the Don, okay? The Don tells me where to sit all the time. love Jose. He's great. He's talking about the Don. Yeah, man. You can't disrespect the Don. That's a violation. The Don tells you where to sit. You gotta kiss his ring. You know what I'm saying?
You're definitely at a point where you can't just hope that your academy products and your youth development is going to get you there. Clearly the league is not that now, and you have to be able to adjust, and you're not doing so, and that's where the problem lies.
Well, so Jose, if you're listening, please fill us in. How do you feel? We're 3 weeks away. I agree with Austin. I feel like the rest of the MLS has made some significant moves moving forward, and we are just that slow horse to the race. And we are just, we're just la.
Yeah, we usually are. So,
how can you expect Jim Curtin to drive a Ferrari if you give him station wagon pieces? And I probably am wrong for saying that, because you probably get a little better station wagon pieces, but you know what I'm trying to say. We would eventually at some point we want to see a Ferrari come down the street at some point. This is horrible. This is like one of the you can't be cheap all the time. And this is come from a cheapo. You can't be cheap all the time. Honestly, Jose goes, honestly, I'm fine. The Union have been doing the same thing for 5 years. I got them closer and closer. Would it be nice to get a money player? Sure, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want a Ferrari, and they wound up having
ended up with a faux Rari.
A faux Rari. Yeah, good point.
That is a knee level joke.
Yes, knee slapper. Here goes Jose again.
I'm convinced that if they become a tournament team and focus on 1 or 2 tournaments, they could net something.
What do you think, Austin?
What the problem is, you get stretched thin trying to put too much focus into too many different things, and I feel like the front office is putting too much pressure to try and win MLS Cup without spending a ton of money, so we can set some sort of a precedent, which I don't think makes any sense. But it's like you said, Jose, it's been the same thing consistently for 5 years, and they've gotten closer and closer, but they reached the top almost and then fell further down after that. So, are we starting to see that decline if we keep like the same mindset here? Are we starting to see the fall off point is what I'm wondering now, because, you don't make.
Yeah. So Kyle K says, this is the Union, not the Tampa Bay Rays. This is what I'm saying. Make playoffs, then really force the issues. Think about it. Just sneak into the playoffs and then play the 6 out of 7 games. Boom, trophy.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it happened with Columbus, but I mean, they spent money on a guy that moved the needle for them in Cucho, and that helped them out big time in terms of getting to where they needed to get to after what was it? I believe it was like 4 or 5 years ago. They won the championship and had that same fall off to the point where they were, I believe at one point they were like 12th in the conference before they managed to battle their way into a playoff spot. So, I mean, I understand exactly where you're coming from, though. If you can sort of, go under the radar going into the playoffs, sort of like how Columbus did, and just be able to just eke out a few wins and be able to just start eating in the playoffs, then yeah. But then you also have, CONCACAF Champions League, CONCACAF Champions Cup, sorry. But I mean, there's a lot of competition this year throughout the entire season again. And you just have to hope that a lot of these pieces hold. We didn't really do much to move a needle to see this team be able to be still considered a potential contender, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So Kyle checking is can't get to the bargain bin can't go to the bargain bin all season. Always get gold.
Yeah.
Always get gold. Jose checking in. He goes. I think that the folks will be surprised by Nick Pariano. I think he will be a big shining piece. Homegrown guy will make it difference.
Yeah, Pariano is a very solid piece of talent. I'm very excited for him going forward with Philadelphia, and I really do hope that he does make as big a difference as you say. And then Jose follows up. Also, got to think about this: is Tanner here to win or make money for ownership? 50-50 on that, maybe 70-30.
Good point.
When you say 70-30, is it 70 win, 30 make money, or is it the other way around? Because I feel like it's the other way around, where he's more concerned about trying to see this team make a bunch of money that they then don't spend on trying to win.
Right.
Because, like I said, the value pieces that I wanted to see Philadelphia try and at least make an attempt for went by the wayside, and I just literally sat around waiting for the announcements that Wagner was back and that Bedoya was back, and from there, the pieces sort of just fell into place as the offseason went. And now, he said another thing here. Also, remember this: the team and ownership just had to finance a very new and shiny building outside the stadium that will hold up. Getting that the WSFS. Oh gosh, what's it called? Oh, I just had all that information here, and I got rid of stuff because we were starting to get to the end here. Bring up gosh dang it.
He's right though. I mean, like the brand new stadium they're gonna make.
The WSFS Bank Sportsplex is what it's called.
Yeah,
I mean that is definitely it.
Finally check
out the safe stock, Sugarman's moneymaker. Check the 5. Oh no! Oh, I don't like how you worded that.
Decline. Shiny new building? Not that chemical plant, right? That's pretty good. Yes, right next to the chemical plant. Yes, Kyle. Yes, that's gonna be part in breathing chemicals. Yes, gotta love Chester. He goes.
I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah, it was actually at one point. Yeah, $93 a share, and now it's down to what is it? $20.97 as of today. Yeah.
Wow.
But it said that's so weird though, because I'm looking at it over the past 5 years, and it's saying that they're actually up 2.8. Oh yeah, from where they were 5 years ago. Yeah, they were at 1809 5 years ago. But just so that would have been like a 3-year window, and you can't do that. Damn, it's so weird how they do like it's like 1 day, 5 day, and then 1 month, and then 6 months. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
crazy,
really
craziest thing with stocks and crypto and stuff like that.
yeah, it really does.
That's heavy hits. That's heavy hits.
Heavy. Yeah. He goes, think about when they turn things around, the union.
Yeah. It was definitely the same style thing. They were over a few years. It looked really rough for them, and then the moves they made started. Again, there was moves that weren't really moving the needle, but they wound up panning out, and that's kind of
That's been their montage, right?
yeah,
So
it really has been the move, as they say.
So, but look, guys, we are about to wrap up the show. I want to thank everyone checking in. My man Jose, again, guys. I believe he's on tomorrow. Oh, hey, what happened?
Your camera gave out on you.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. You're still fine coming through with audio.
Oh, there I am.
There you
what
are.
I do?
Your background blew up on you.
What? Oh, Jesus.
I'll get us out of here, Pat. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you haven't already, why haven't you? Whatever platform you're on, follow, like, share it out, all that good stuff. No podcast for Jose and Mike tomorrow. They are working on some stories and traveling for work. So
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Now where I go? Now I'm hideous.
Now you're just the EOP logo, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to do that. My face. There I am.
There he is. Thank you all so much for joining us. It has been a wonderful show. Pat, thank you for joining me for this one.
No worries. I'll be here from here on out. But guys, stay tuned. If you guys are up at the 1 o'clock hour, I am going to be doing the Sixer post game show. So guys, if you're out watching the Sixers late, you want to react, come check me out. And of course, tomorrow, Friday night, Agile Philly Sports, we'll have some more pro wrestling actions. That's right. The Steel Steps coming to you live with my man Hakeem, my man Joey Woods, who just had the experience of covering the Royal Rumble here for Edge of Philly Sports down there in Tampa, speaking of. And then, of course, Chris Wilson. Guys, check those guys out. Give those guys a follow. Steel Steps tomorrow night. And, and of course, you can catch me, Austin, will be right back Saturday morning, 10 a.m. there on the Devro, talking on Devro Twitch, talking some video games. So yeah, we
haven't decided what the topic's going to be for that yet.
Listen, you got some times, but guys, thank you so much. We're